She thought calling 911 would save her life. Instead, it destroyed two. On the other side of this glass is a woman the system calls violent, unstable, dangerous. Her name is Sarah. On this side is her 6-year-old daughter, clutching a crayon drawing of Mommy and Me behind bars. Sarah survived years of abuse from the man who promised to love her. Broken bones, hidden bruises, whispers of, "If you ever leave me, I'll make sure they take your daughter." And the one time she finally picked up the phone, the one time she begged for help, the police decided she was the real threat. Her crime? Dialing 911. Her sentence? 8 years in prison, and losing the only person she was trying to protect. This is Sarah's story, and after you hear what happened the night she called for help, you might never look at 911 the same way again. Before everything fell apart, Sarah was just a mom trying her best. Single parent, working double shifts at a diner downtown, coming home exhausted but always making time for Emma. Reading bedtime stories in funny voices, making pancakes shaped like Mickey Mouse on Saturday mornings. Braiding Emma's hair before school. Emma was 6 years old, bright eyes, gap-toothed smile. The kind of kid who asked 1,000 questions and believed her mom could answer all of them. Sarah loved her more than anything in this world, but being a single mom was hard. The bills were always late, the rent was always due, and some nights after Emma was asleep, Sarah would sit at the kitchen table and wonder if she was doing enough, if Emma deserved better, if she was failing her. That's when she met Mark. He was charming, attentive. He remembered small details about her day. He brought Emma little gifts, a stuffed animal, a coloring book. He made Sarah feel seen in a way she hadn't felt in years. "You're doing an amazing job," he'd tell her. "You don't have to do it alone anymore. I'll take care of you, both of you." It felt like the answer to everything. Security, stability, a real family. So when Mark suggested moving in together after 6 months, Sarah said yes. She wanted to believe that things were finally getting better. At first, the changes were small. Mark started asking where she'd been, who she'd talked to, why she was 10 minutes late coming home from work. "I'm just worried about you," he'd say. "It's dangerous out there. I want to make sure you're safe." He'd check her phone, scroll through her texts, ask why she was laughing at something her coworker sent. "You don't need all these people in your life," he'd say. "You have me now. You have Emma. That's enough." Sarah stopped seeing her friends, stopped calling her sister. She told herself it was easier, that it wasn't worth the argument. The first time he put his hands on her, it was over something stupid. A phone call Sarah didn't answer because she was helping Emma with homework. Mark shoved her, hard. Her back slammed into the wall. The sound echoed through the apartment. Emma saw it. She started crying. Mark immediately apologized, said he was stressed, said it would never happen again, said he loved her. Sarah wanted to believe him. He just had a bad day, she told herself. But it did happen again, and again. The bruises got worse, her ribs, her arms, her face. She covered them with makeup and long sleeves and excuses. "I fell. I bumped into the door. I'm just clumsy." She started taking pictures, quietly. When Mark was at work or asleep, photos of the bruises, the cuts, the handprints on her throat. She hid them in a folder on her phone labeled recipes, just in case, just as insurance. One night after he'd grabbed her by the hair and slammed her head against the kitchen counter, Sarah whispered that she was leaving. Mark's face went cold. "If you ever leave me," he said, his voice calm and measured, "I'll tell them you're crazy. I'll tell them you hurt Emma. I'll make sure you never see her again." Sarah's blood went cold. She believed him. She was trapped. Stay and risk dying. Leave and risk losing her daughter. What kind of choice was that? The months dragged on. Mark's temper got worse. The violence became routine. Sarah stopped arguing, stopped resisting. She learned to read his moods, learned when to stay quiet, learned how to make herself small. But inside, a voice kept whispering, "This is going to kill you. You have to get out." One night after Mark had gone to bed, Sarah opened her laptop. She searched for domestic violence shelters, hotlines, escape plans. She read stories from other women, women who'd left, women who'd survived. But then she thought about Emma, about Mark's threat, about losing her. She closed the laptop. Fear won. Again. It happened on a Tuesday night. Sarah can't even remember what started it. Something small. Dinner wasn't ready on time, or she didn't respond fast enough when he called her name. Something meaningless. But Mark exploded. He grabbed her by the arm, screamed in her face, shoved her into the refrigerator. She hit the floor. He kicked her. Once, twice. She tasted blood. Then she heard it. Emma's voice from the bedroom. "Daddy, stop!" Sarah looked up. Through the crack in the door, she could see Emma's face. Wide eyes, tears streaming down her cheeks. Terror. And in that moment, Sarah realized something. If she didn't do something, he was going to kill her. Or worse, Emma was going to grow up thinking this was normal, that this was what love looked like. Sarah couldn't let that happen. Mark grabbed his keys and stormed out. "I'm going out," he said, "to cool off. You better clean yourself up before I get back." The door slammed. Sarah lay on the floor for a long time. Her ribs screamed. Her face throbbed. She could barely breathe. She crawled to her phone. Her hands were shaking so hard she could barely hold it. She dialed 911. The dispatcher answered. "911, what's your emergency?" Sarah's voice cracked. My husband has been abusing me. For years. I'm scared he's going to kill me." The dispatcher asked her questions. "Are you safe right now? Is he still there? Do you need medical assistance?" Sarah answered as best she could. "Yes, no, maybe." She didn't know. Then she heard it. The car. Mark was back. The door flew open. Mark saw her, saw the phone. "What the fuck are you doing?" He lunged at her, grabbed the phone. Sarah fought back, scratched his arm, screamed. Mark yelled into the phone. "She's attacking me. She's crazy. Send someone now." Emma was crying. Sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. Sarah's heart pounded. Help is coming, she thought. This is it. This is how I get out. She had no idea what was about to happen. The police arrived 4 minutes later. 2 officers, young, looked tired. They walked into chaos. Sarah on the floor, bruised, bleeding, sobbing, barely able to speak. Mark standing calmly by the door, fresh scratches on his arm, shirt torn. Emma in her room, crying. The officers separated them. One stayed with Sarah, one talked to Mark. Sarah tried to explain. He's been abusing me for years. I called for help. He came back and attacked me. But her voice was shaking, hysterical. She was crying so hard she could barely get the words out. The officer with Mark heard a different story. Mark was calm, cooperative, spoke clearly. Officer, I don't know what's happening. She's been unstable lately, jealous, paranoid. I went for a drive to cool off, came back, and she attacked me. Look at my arm. He showed the scratches, the torn shirt. The officers looked at each other. One of the officers knelt down to talk to Emma. Sweetheart, can you tell me what happened? Emma's voice was small, shaking. Daddy hurt Mommy, but Mommy was yelling. The officer nodded, wrote it down. They conferred quietly, looked at Sarah, looked at Mark. One officer pulled out the report. Under primary aggressor, he checked Sarah's name. She was hysterical, emotional, unstable looking. Mark was calm, had visible injuries, seemed reasonable. The system had made its choice. Ma'am, you're under arrest for domestic violence and endangering a child. Sarah's world stopped. What? No, you don't understand. He's the one. Ma'am, you need to calm down. The handcuffs clicked tight around her wrists. Visual, Emma reaching out, Sarah being led away, CPS worker arriving. Emma ran out of her room. Mommy, don't go! Sarah's heart shattered. It's okay, baby. Mommy's okay. I love you. But it wasn't okay. A child services worker arrived, clipboard in hand, talked to Mark, talked to the officers. We'll place the child with the father temporarily while we investigate. Sarah's blood went cold. "No, please, you can't leave her with him. He's dangerous, please." But no one was listening. They put Sarah in the back of the squad car. Through the window, she could see Emma, standing in the doorway, Mark's hand on her shoulder. Emma's face was wet with tears. Sarah's last thought before they drove away, "This call was supposed to save us. Did I just give my daughter back to a monster?" Sarah spent the next 3 days in county jail waiting for arraignment. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. All she could think about was Emma. Was she okay? Was Mark hurting her? Was she scared? Her public defender was a woman in her 30s with bags under her eyes and a caseload of 200 clients. "Okay, Sarah, let me be straight with you. The prosecutor is going hard on this. They're charging you with domestic violence, assault, and endangering a child." Sarah couldn't believe it. "But I didn't do anything. He's the one who's been abusing me for years." The lawyer sighed. "I believe you, but here's the problem. The police report lists you as the primary aggressor. There are noise complaints from neighbors over the last year, and the prosecutor is going to argue that you exposed your daughter to violence. That makes you a threat." Sarah felt the walls closing in. "What about the pictures? The bruises? The evidence? They'll say it was mutual, that you fought back, that you're just as violent as he is." The lawyer leaned forward. "I can try to get you a plea deal, reduce charges, maybe probation. You'd get out sooner." Sarah shook her head. "No, I didn't do this. The truth will come out." The lawyer looked at her with something that might have been pity. "Sarah, the truth doesn't always win in court." The trial lasted 3 days. The prosecutor painted Sarah as unstable, jealous, a danger to her own child. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is not a case about domestic violence. This is a case about a woman who couldn't control her emotions, who attacked her partner, and who put her daughter in harm's way. They showed the police report, the scratches on Mark's arm, the noise complaints. They called Mark to the stand. Visual, Mark on the witness stand, calm, collected, playing the heartbroken father. He was perfect, calm, soft-spoken, eyes wet with tears. "I love Sarah. I tried to help her, but she became paranoid, angry. I was scared for Emma's safety. I'm just glad she's okay." Sarah's lawyer tried. She presented the photos of Sarah's injuries, the hospital visits, the pattern of abuse, but the prosecutor countered. "Mutual combat. She fought back. That doesn't make her a victim. It makes her a participant." Visual, Emma in the courtroom, CPS worker holding her hand. She looks at Sarah, reaches out. CPS worker pulls her back. The worst moment came on day 2. Emma was brought in, just for a minute, to verify she was okay. She was sitting with a child services worker. She looked small, scared. Sarah's eyes locked on her. Emma saw her, reached out. "Mommy!" The worker pulled her back, whispered something, walked her out. Sarah's chest felt like it was caving in. The jury deliberated for 6 hours, guilty on all charges. The judge looked down at Sarah. "Ms. Sarah, you have been found guilty of domestic violence and child endangerment. It is the responsibility of this court to protect children from harm. Your actions put your daughter at risk. I sentence you to 8 years in state prison." 8 years. The gavel came down. Sarah didn't hear anything else. Sarah was transferred to a state prison 200 miles from where Emma lived. The days blurred together. Morning count at 6 a.m., breakfast in the cafeteria, work detail in the laundry room, lunch, free time in the yard, dinner, lockdown at 9 p.m. Her cell was 8 by 10 feet, metal bunk, steel toilet, a small desk bolted to the wall. At night, lying on the thin mattress, Sarah would stare at the ceiling and think about Emma. Was she okay? Did she remember her? Did she hate her? Sarah wrote letters, every week, sometimes every day. "Dear Emma, I miss you so much. I think about you every second. I love you more than anything in this world. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry." Some letters were returned. Undeliverable. Mark had moved, changed addresses. Some were never answered. Sarah wasn't alone. There were other women. Women who'd fought back against abusers. Women who'd called the police and been arrested instead. Women who'd lost their children to the system. They shared their stories in the yard, in the cafeteria, in quiet moments when the guards weren't listening. It didn't make it better, but it made it bearable. The first time Emma visited, she was 7 years old. A CPS worker brought her. Supervised visit, 30 minutes. Emma was shy, didn't know what to say. She stared at Sarah's orange jumpsuit, at the metal detector she'd walked through, at the guard standing by the door. Sarah tried to smile. "Hi, baby. I missed you so much." Emma's voice was small. "Hi, Mommy." They sat on opposite sides of the table. Sarah wanted to hold her, to hug her, but touching wasn't allowed. Emma had drawn a picture. Crayon, stick figures. "Mommy and me." Sarah held it and tried not to cry. The visits got fewer, once a month, then every few months. Emma got older. 8, 9, 10. One day during a phone call, Emma asked the question Sarah had been dreading. "Mom, are you in there because you're bad?" Sarah's throat tightened. "No, baby, I'm not bad. I made a mistake, but I love you. I've always loved you." Emma was quiet for a long time. "Daddy says you hurt him." Sarah's heart broke. "That's not true, Emma, I promise." But she could hear the doubt in her daughter's voice. By the time Emma was 11, she barely visited. One video call, Emma looked tired, older than she should. "I was good all week, Mom. Can you come home now?" Sarah's voice cracked. "Not yet, baby, but soon. I promise." But soon was still years away, and Sarah knew deep down that even when she got out, she'd already lost so much. She went to prison for trying to protect her daughter, and the system took Emma's childhood anyway. Sarah's story is not unique. Every year, thousands of domestic violence survivors are arrested when they call the police for help. They're labeled as primary aggressors because they're emotional, because they fought back, because they don't look like the perfect victim. Some lose their children, some go to prison, some never recover. This is a fictional story, but it's inspired by real patterns, real failures, real lives destroyed by a system that's supposed to protect people. And it's still happening, right now. Sarah sits on one side of the glass. Emma, now 13, sits on the other. They press their hands against the partition. As close as they can get, Emma's drawing is still taped to the wall of Sarah's cell. "Mommy and me behind bars." Sarah survived him, but the system took her freedom and her daughter's childhood. If you were in her place, would you still dial 911? If you want more true stories like this one, you can subscribe. It helps these stories reach more people.